Have you ever wondered why Evangelism Explosion is called Evangelism Explosion? The truth is that there are some places that we travel and minister where explosions are not that positive of an idea as you can imagine. But the reason why the name is so critical is because, like it or not, there is a population explosion happening on Earth today. And so then, the only way to keep up with this population explosion is to have an evangelism explosion. It's logical, really. If we hope to fulfill the Great Commission that Jesus Christ gave us, which is to preach the gospel to every creature, according to Mark 16, well, we're going to need a multiplication tool that will allow us to keep up with the population explosion and finish the task. We call this spiritual multiplication. And while you hear a lot of folks talk about spiritual multiplication, they don't have a method to do it. The Bible gives us a picture in 2 Timothy 2:2, which I think is instructive. In this one verse, there are 4 generations that are being reached and taught how to do the same. If we look closely, we can see how Paul was able to multiply. In chapter 1, verse 13, he says this, "Hold fast to the pattern of sound words." Do you see it? Paul had a pattern. It's what led Michael Green in his book Evangelism in the Early Church to conclude that the Apostle Paul had an outline, a gospel presentation that he used over and over again as he shared the gospel. So do you see the secret? If we hope to fulfill the Great Commission, we need a pattern, a gospel outline. Without it, we will not be able to finish the task, plain and simple. But here's the problem. Gospel outlines are generally seen as a bad thing in the modern church today. We hear many times, "Oh, that's canned. I'd never use that." Or "It sounds like a robot." Or "I don't need an outline to share the gospel. I just share whatever comes to mind willy-nilly." And frankly, I do meet people who are good at sharing the gospel one-on-one without an outline. But you see, that's not the point. The point is that we can never finish the task of sharing the gospel with everyone on earth without an outline. And it's not hard to prove. How come it is that you can go into a fast food restaurant anywhere in the world and get a hamburger that's just like the one made in the original restaurant? Well, the answer? They have a pattern that they use. They insist their staff use every time they make one. Or how is it that you're able to go into a pharmacy anywhere on earth and get the exact same medicine? Answer? They have a formula, a pattern that they follow exactly. With a pattern, they can multiply. Without one, they cannot. So here's the question for us. What pattern do you use in order to multiply yourself into someone else? Now here's the good news. If you don't have one, we can help. One of the key things that God has used EE for within the church over these years is to bring a pattern for multiplying witnesses all over the world. We've literally trained millions of Christians and given them a tool for multiplying themselves into others. This is our focus this week at Evangelism Explosion through all of our channels. We're going to give you a pattern that you can use to multiply. Visit sharelife.today and see our hand gospel presentation video and commit to start learning it this week and then share it with someone else. With this tool, we can change the world. May God richly bless you this week as we serve Him.